everyone to the fourth part of our part one series on appreciating wine and how to start your wine journey with the basics. We have once again Gail Sotelo with us today. So thanks again for joining us, Gail.
You're welcome, and I'm excited again because I'm especially excited because there's a bottle in front of us now.
Yes, finally we're getting closer to the most enjoyable part, which is drinking wine. So a lot of people are actually nervous, and a lot of them ask me and approach me how to properly open a bottle. There's many tools and gadgets out there. Everyone has a different way of opening a bottle, but I think it's very important to know how some professionals open a bottle and how not to break the cork. Corks can be challenging if you don't know how. And of course, what's the preferred tools to use? I know I have mine, and I'll be more than happy to hear it from you, how you do it professionally. We do use a traditional method in restaurants and hotels where I've worked, so I can't wait to have the professional way, and I hope to share it with everyone so that they can be more comfortable in opening their wines in front of friends and in public.
Absolutely. And honestly, what's nice about both of us having to work for restaurants before is that we do know how to open it professionally. And some people might argue, but do I really need to know this? I'm just going to open up a bottle of wine at home. If you're really, really intimidated, you know what? There are butterfly openers that do exist. There are machine openers that do exist. Instructions normally come with a manual. But hey, if you remember the previous episode that we had, we were talking about showing wine as a means to be able to show your friends, your guests at home, how much you've prepared for them, and how to be able to open this with the same amount of showmanship as, shall we say, sommeliers do it, the professionals do it. It's also a fantastic way to be able to show your guests that, look, I'm really happy you're here. Let me show you a very good time. I'm going to show you a fantastic one that you can also have with us tonight. Because I've also worked for F&B for the longest amount of time, I'm kind of more used to working with what is commonly called a waiter's stand. It's a pull tab. That's how you call it. So it normally comes in a few parts. Normally have the lever over here that kind of does break away a little bit, as you can see. It's important, and we'll be able to figure it out later as we actually open our bottle. We have the blade, and we also have the corkscrew itself. So what do you need? If you want to open it up in the traditional way, you need this one. You need your cloth. At home, it's okay for you to be able to use a napkin, but it's going to stain, just so you know, especially if you're practicing. You're going to be able to stain these things just as a precaution. You also want to have, of course, your bottle of wine and the proper glass to go with it. And if you want to be able to figure out which glass goes with your wine, we've already shot a video previously about this one, so you can also check that out. So those are the things that you need. All right, so we can start. So first of all, bring out your blade. Ta-da. You want to be able to cut from the bottom part of the lip of the bottle, not at this point. The reason is, at the end of the day, this is a foil. There is a tendency for the foil to be able to get in if you cut it a little too close to the mouth of the bottle. So you want to be able to do it far, but you don't want to do it all the way down here because that doesn't make any sense. You want to be able to cut it with one motion. The trick to do that is to be able to make sure that there is a firm grip on your finger as you do it. So that's one movement across. If this is your first time, there is a tendency that this doesn't happen as easy. It's okay. It takes a bit of practice, so you'll be able to do it a bit more. And you can get more bottles from Celina to practice on. So after that, you want to be able to do another motion as much as possible, as straight as possible from the back. All right, so you want to be able to do that. Now, today, to be perfectly honest with you, because the way my table is set up, it's a bit of a challenge to keep it straight, but we'll be able to do it anyway. So, having said that, you want to, from this point, be able to make an incision, a straight line from the front all the way up to the top of the bottle, so that you'll have something to put the blade in, as you can be able to see. Again, you're not supposed to be tilting the bottle, but with my setup, I could barely reach it. I do excuse myself, but you want to be able to cut through the foil in this manner. Sometimes the foil that you will get is very much embedded into the bottle, and that does present a challenge. For this one, it doesn't. So you should be able to cut it off like so. So it's clean. Sometimes you would be able to encounter a bottle where the foil is really, really stuck to the mouth of it. That also tends to happen. As much as possible, though, you want to be able to keep it clean. Now, I'm folding the blade already, and the next step that you want to do is to be able to get your cloth, wipe the mouth of the bottle. Why do you want to do that? Sometimes the foil does disintegrate. You want to be able to get it away from the mouth of the bottle because you don't want that anywhere near your wine. Afterwards, you want to take out your foil. As you can see, there's a pointy end right here. The very, very pointy end here. What you want to do is to keep it at the center of the cork. If this is your first time to do it, the reason why you want to be able to keep it at the center of the cork, as you can see, if you don't want it on the side, because if it's at the side, there's a tendency to be able to shatter the cork. You want to be able to keep your wine as clean and as free from the cork as possible. So once it's at the center, you want to be able to apply a little bit of pressure with your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm using my right hand right now, keeping the coil straight. Now, some people get so scared whenever it's at this point because people are like, oh, bakit ang ingay? It's so noisy. It can happen. It's okay. Just make sure that you are still putting that foil all the way through. As you can see, I've left, let's see if I can set that on cam. I've left a little bit of the coil, just a little bit, like one coil left, because you want to be able to make sure that you don't go all the way through and thus shattering your cork. So from this point, as you can see, the lever I have is two parts. So I have the middle part and I have the end part. So you want to start with the middle part. And the reason why you want to have the breakaway time like this, the one that kind of folds, is because you want to fold the bottom part outwards to be able to have a better grip to the mouth of the bottle like so. Because if you don't, this is what it looks like. So there's no grip. And that's not what we want to happen with. You want to be able to fold it, put it there. As you can see, there's a full contact between the lever, the first level of the lever, to the mouth of the bottle. You want to have a firm grip with your non-dominant hand, as it is my left hand, on the lever. Then you want to pull as far up as you can, like so. So it's at this point. I can't go any higher from this point. Again, I'm using this for demonstration purposes. Ideally speaking, the wine doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't move from left to right. You want to keep the label in front, facing whoever it is that you're going to serve the wine to. And then from this point, you want to be able to, if you can see, a while ago, diba, it was like this. So now we're going to fold it inward, giving the lever a more contact rather with the mouth of the bottle. Then you want to hold it again, keeping a firm grip, and pull all the way up. As you can probably hear, there was no sound that happened. Some people ask you a question, Gail, is it proper to make a sound when you open a bottle? Ideally speaking, you shouldn't. It's more like, manners, keeping it polite. Because you don't want like, boom. It's in a restaurant, if that happens, everyone knows already that you ordered wine. It's not very nice to listen to or to look at. So as you can see, you have the cork stuck in your corkscrew. You want to take it out. You want to be able to present it to your guests. If you really want to be formal about it, there's typically a dish that you want to put your cork in before you want to give it to your guests. Fold your opener, hide it away, and then from this point on, you can start pouring your wine like so. stop at the fattest portion, lift and twist. The reason why you want to lift and twist is you don't want to be able to drip it on the side or pour your precious wine on the table. So that's how you open a bottle of still wine.
I was waiting to watch you. I was mesmerized. I love that you broke it down into so many steps because I've been doing it for so long. I would find it hard, and I guess teaching is really your forte, and I'm really, really happy you broke it down. So I'll do it as well. I have the same an opener, and I think we do have the same feature where the side here tips back a little bit here.
Yeah.
I think people can see that. So I'll be using the tradition. I do have my cloth as well. And I do have a decanter that was given to me. So this one's a Rioja. I might want to decant it as well later.
Okay.
I'll pour myself a glass and join you.
Yeah.
So I hope you don't mind. I'll go ahead and open my bottle.
In the Philippines, one of the things that kind of intimidates people is actually the importation sticker. My rule of thumb for the importation sticker is that some of them are easy to take out. Some are really, really stuck to the foil. If it's really stuck to the foil, then cut it along with the foil. See, Celina is a pro at this.
No, I'm not. I'm just following your suit. I was reminded of a few things because I started opening my wine actually at the lip where you said. So it's a good reminder because I did that actually last night. And look, I have a little cut on my finger here. And that was because I opened it here. So it's a good reminder, even for people that always open. Although in my defense, the bottle last night was very strange because it didn't really have a lip. It was straight. It was an American wine. I won't mention the brand, but it was a different bottle, much more modern, and it had that tall look. Bottles vary, so you have to adapt and find your way. Always stay safe. Try not. And I love that you said it's good to wipe it because actually these things can cut you. This foil, it's not like aluminum foil. And so is this tool. So I'm going to put it away now that I'm done with it. And I have the same bottle as you, the Rioja LZ.
Yeah.
Can't wait to pour it.
Yeah. So to talk a very, very little bit about this, it's from the Rioja region. Typically from the Rioja region, you have a Tempranillo blended with a little bit of Garnacha. So that's usually how it is. So you'll have a lot of red fruits on it. You'll have, especially since it's at its youth. It doesn't say that, because normally like Rioja would have aging classifications on the label. It doesn't say so, which means that this is a pretty young, barely aged wine. You're going to have a lot of red fruit characteristics coming out. If it has been blended with Garnacha, you'll be able to have a little bit of the white pepper spices going on.
You know, one of my favorites in the collection that I have, I mean, all the wines that I have in my cellar, I carry them because I personally tried them and I like them myself. I'm sure you're the same way. Why would you sell a wine that you don't like yourself? Of course,
completely agree.
Knowing that you have to be able to address all the price ranges of people. So you do have to have wines that are a certain price, going higher for all different discerning tastes. And of course, you have to carry as many wines as you can from different regions. I think that's really important if you really want to travel with your wine. So I'm really happy we're having this Spanish wine today because you said it's very light, it's fruity.
Yeah.
It's not very heavy because Spanish wines have a tendency to be quite heavy and robust.
Yeah.
But this one stays bright and sunny. And as you said, it's young. So you can tell in the flavor. It's not too on the tannins yet.
You very pronounced the presence of the Garnacha there.
Yeah, without even tasting it. And Tempranillo and Garnacha are highly used grapes in Spain. They're one of the most popular grapes, right?
Yeah, especially for the region of Rioja. Definitely.
Well, this was a lovely video once again, and finally we're drinking wine with you. So cheers to you, Gail, and thank you so much for that very important input. And I hope everyone has a great day and continues enjoying wine like us. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.